Thanks for joining today. Topic today is value-based pricing for SMB brands. Why every brand should actively manage its pricing. So the webinar today is not only taking the basic conceptual idea of that, but really going into the practice, so how you can really implement value-based pricing, because there is no value in a theory if you cannot reliably implement that, right? And that's why we took this topic, because we are seeing, especially within the SMB field, that brands are still struggling in implementing a value-based pricing. So let me, Lou, go into some the basic ideas of that and explain some things, and then we go into more practical things. So Wolfgang, do you want to share something?
Oh, sorry.
Cool. So Wolfgang is
Technical dissonance.
Wolfgang, you are still to mute yourself. Cool. So off we go. So value-based pricing, this is the basic idea of value-based pricing. It tells you that your price heavily depends and should be guided by the value you deliver to the customer. The value you deliver to the customer is basically measured by what customers are willing to pay for your. So what do they think about your product? Do they like it better than the competitive products, right? Or other alternatives? So it's, yeah, for people who are longer in this way of thinking, it's very, very simple, but still oftentimes not implemented. So still the standard way of implementing pricing is taking the costs, adding a certain surcharge, like oh, we need this profit or so, and that's it. And maybe looking for competitive pricing. So what is the market price? So it's very much cost-based, competition-based, and guesswork. And there's one thing missing, which is what customers think about the value of the product. And that's, I think, where new technology can help. But before we go into more practical topics, I want to highlight the importance of pricing, because it is the largest lever you have for your profitability. So that's here an example. If you have volume here, you have a price and cost of goods sold, right? And if you have a profit margin of 10%, yeah, if you can increase this price by 5%, yeah, your profit goes up by 50%. Yeah, if you can increase that without losing volume, right? And yeah, finding the balance and finding the sweet spot, there's sometimes a really huge lever to get more profitable. And don't looking into that means leaving it to competition or gifting it to customer, which is very humble from you. Cool. So here's an example that using the pricing lever right is what we see every day. So this is an example of a pet food product, yeah, which were just launched at a price of $22.49, or it was right before the launch, yeah, and then, but this was supposed to be launch price, and yeah, we did this analysis. What you see here in the orange line is a price demand function. So basically, how much demand will the market respond to given a certain price? Yeah, basically, how much do you sell? But this curve is relative, so depending on how big a market is and many other factors, it will multiply or so. But basically, the shape is the same, and that's what is important, because then you could take this demand and say, hey, okay, the price is this, costs are that, we need to deduct retail margin and so forth, and there you can compute the profit you will gain, because the profit is margin multiplied by the volume, right? And it maximizes at the price of 26.50, which is a huge difference, right? So 4 euros higher price, and the margin is, I don't know, it was 5 times bigger margin, right? And because of that, you lose some sales, but the profit is actually 40% higher. Yeah? That's a typical thing what you can experience if you previously do not use value-based pricing. But let's go into a bit more. How can we come up with those information? Yeah, that's important. And before we do that, let's talk about the challenges that consumer products face. Yeah, because of those challenges, companies basically are focusing on topics they can judge on, which is competitive pricing and costs. So someone raises hand. So if you have a question, please use the Q&A and write your question in the Q&A, and I will come as fast as possible to answer your question. So challenges are typically, if you sell a consumer product, you don't set the shelf price, right? So you don't have a handle on setting it. So that's what we often hear is, hey, yeah, nice to hear optimal pricing, but we don't set the price. It is the retailer who sets the price. But we come back to that because this is too short-sighted. Of course, you cannot set the price, but you can manage it. And there are many other products you may have, so the complexity is high. And also the willingness to buy may change from year to year. Yeah, that's all challenges. And further, as a SMB brand, you typically cannot afford those needs nor JFK data where you have the sales data from the market and can do some price modeling on it, which, by the way, don't help for new products, for change packaging and so forth. And also, yeah, much higher price levels. So these are the typical challenges. But actually, they are solvable. And this graph basically shows you how the end price is made up. Yeah, as a brand, you come up with a price which you sell to the wholesaler or to the retailer. And actually, the margin they put on top of it is pretty much calculatable. Typically, they have a expected, for retail, 50%, 60%, for devices, more like 30%. So there is a margin, pretty much. And of course, there are some variants depending on, I don't know, the price level. The retailer may want to stay below 3, yeah, 2.99 or so. So they adjust the price slightly through rules. But basically, that is behavior, right? Their behavior is very rule-based, very fixed, very predictable. So, and with your price setting and with your negotiation, you can very well manage the price level you see in the market. And this means it's important to know where is the optimal end price level, which then tells you by deducting retail margin and so forth and tax what your sales price to the retailer should be. So the whole process for you and price and the pricing process is like that. Of course, you need a strategic layer, which is the foundation here, right? All your products should have kind of a price relation. Yeah, you may have a premium product and so forth. So a portfolio, some rules, some strategies set up. But then you need to set the price, actually define a price you want to see in the market. And that requires the customer view. You need to know how people will react, how consumers will react to a certain price level. So again, if you have a question, put it in a Q&A. Right. If you have said that, you can have your sales team negotiate the prices with the retailer. And the maintain level is that actually you need to take the existing products year by year or at some interval to actually check if the price set is still valid. And also you need to manage the price promotion. And for all those highlighted fields, what you need is customer insights. You need pricing intelligence. And there is where we put the focus on today, because this is what enables value-based pricing. So here's an example for a reason why you need to reevaluate the customer response to prices. So here we have a drink, right? And we tested the price demand function on this drink on people who didn't try it yet, right? That's a upper curve. So of course, the higher the price, the fewer people want to buy it. Yeah? But still, if you look at costs, there is a optimal price, a very broad optimal price range, but basically, yeah, between 99 cents and 169, it's pretty, the profit is pretty similar. It's a special situation, but in this case, you would choose a lower one because it's the same profit, but you generate more customers and growing the customer base, because this is a product you wish customers will buy soon again. But then we tested the same product on people who have tried the product. So basically, if you are in the market and your product is growing, the people who are on the market and have tested and have tried it is growing. So the combined customer response will be changing if the ratio of people who already tried it will be larger, right? So if you have a growing brand, your price demand function changes over time. simply because there are more people who already tried it. And if the product is good, the willingness to pay is higher after trying it. So that's evidence from the field. So now the question is, how can we arrive at those information? How can we measure the price demand function here? And actually, there's a problem when you look at existing or traditional market research methods, which have four problems. They're expert owned, which means, yeah, if you would want to do a conjoint, typically you need to go to an agency, and even within this agency, there are just two people who are knowledgeable enough. Yeah? So this means it's expensive, it's slow, and actually the validity for many products on pricing is limited, which a research showed from University of Ostfalen, which I want to show you in a minute. So we have a problem, Scotty, right? And we at Super Tools wanted to solve that. Actually, we built on a scientific work of the University of Hannover, but took that then further. And how can we improve the process of price intelligence? By rethinking what drives a buying decision. And a buying decision is 95% guided by instinct, by intuitive gut feeling, by attitudes which are existing prior to thinking. So that's the basic message from neuroscience, which found that people have within milliseconds an opinion towards your product with a price. And this gut feeling is guiding the thinking process. So if we want to more reliably measure whether or not people want to buy, we need to tap into this intuitive knowledge. And interestingly enough, this is true for B2B as well. So what kind of methods are this? These are EEG, fMRG, which are lab-based methods. So you need to bring people in a lab and measure their brains, or implicit association test. And that's basically what we now leveraging. We use this online-based tool, which has a very interesting idea. The idea is basically to look at the response time, because research showed that associations are much faster responded. Answers based on associations can be done within sub-seconds, but a rationalized opinion is never faster than a second or two. For this reason, over a certain cascade of questions, you can understand whether or not answers are rationalized or already given before surveying. So this research we build on is based on University of Hannover. Actually, Dr. Steffen Schmidt published first papers in 2016. And we took that further and improved this process by machine learning. And now there is a method called implicit price intelligence, because we use this implicit association test and use artificial intelligence to further improve the information. Because just running the implicit association test have some biases in it, survey biases, which are natural to surveying. And machine learning can basically eliminate those biases. And together it's a super robust outcome, which even needs not many respondents. So for B2C, we use 100, for B2B, even 50 people to be interviewed to get a very reliable price demand function. So the survey then looks like that. So first step is the product is introduced. Yeah, you show the product and describe it. Typically, you want to describe it as detailed as it is realistic in the marketplace, right? So for this case, this is probably even too detailed, right? There is a question, a long question. Being a producer of energy drinks, would it make sense to organize a huge giveaway promotion? Yeah, that's probably regarding the difference between trialers and not trialers. And the answer is yes, indeed. You could give free samples. That's existing idea, right? To have large sampling organizations leading that people are trying it, because this improves the awareness and the willingness to pay. So that's a good idea. Cool. So every test requires the respondent to be introduced to the product, and then we have an iterative choice task. Basically, this is how it looks like, and then the price is altering. And for one price, we alter the adjectives which the respondent is asked to respond to. Is this price appropriate? Yes, no. Then another adjective comes. Yes, no. And after 1 or 2 minutes, a respondent is done. He had done the test. While doing that, he answered 5 times, gave 5 times an opinion to one price point. That's why the results are very stable, because we measure it in multiple ways, how much people are willing to pay. So the method resulting is basically fitting into white space. Yeah. So existing methods you would rely to be low reliability and complicated, which is Van Westendorp. Garbo Granger is inexpensive, and that's a very practical method, but still it's an explicit measurement, and this has some major biases. Conjoint is regarded as highly reliable, but we see that in certain settings, the reliability is even not that good. And Super Pricing Optimizer is fitting into the spot that it is highly reliable, inexpensive, and super easy to set up. And I will show you in a minute how this works. So, but I can say anything, right? That it's reliable, but actually this is the outcome of a university study, as I said, from University of Hanover. And they tested those 4 methods against each other and looked at many different things, like is the face validity correct? Or does it look reasonable from expert eye? Is the method predicting well the sales uplift for promotions? And most importantly, does the demand prediction correlates with real market share? This is what you see here, that the implicit price intelligence is outperforming all other methods. So the outcome of the study was not that all the other traditional methods are crap, but each method has its valuable points, its useful applications. So conjoint is useful for optimizing the product, for finding out which features are important. Van Westendorp is valuable for understanding the how wide the price range could and should be. And Garber Granger is a great quick and dirty method because everyone can set it up, everyone can understand it. But implicit price intelligence is simply most reliable. And if you see that pricing is the largest lever of profitability, it's worthwhile to think and to use the more reliable method if you can afford it. But this is the case, as you will see. So let's look into some more example. Maybe before I show you more examples, I would like to show you the tool actually, because this Super Tools it's a platform. It's a software you can use yourself, where you set up a survey, push start, and then we field that for you. And after field time plus half a day or so, you will see the results here. Yeah, so let's take this simply 3 steps. First, create a survey, which basically means you say, hey, we have a category which is wireless speaker, right? It's in Germany, German language. Screener looks like that. And yeah, the incidence rate is good enough, right? Good. So, and then you set up by pushing the green button. Yeah, for instance, here you put the name of the new product, the product description, you upload a picture, and that's now you have set it up. And the only thing what you need to do now is to define your price range. So put in the middle and a high and a low price, and it will come up with a price range, and this price range will be tested, push save, and suddenly the test is set up. Yeah, this was 1 minute. So you may, for the first time, you may take, yeah, maybe 5 minutes or whatever, but it's super easy and super fast. You push start, and then we go, right? And the result is a dashboard. Here's someone changed the values here. So, but I showed you some examples, and basically you can define the prices, the costs to make it, and the tax included, and so forth. Then you get a result. Here's someone changed, because you can go back and change the values, and that's what happened here. But let's look at some interesting examples like this, because with Sonos we found the exact prices they used in the field, $399 for the Sonos speaker, and the launch was a big success, so they sell it worldwide still today for this exact price. Yeah, this example I already showed you, but then we also did a try. We took products from very, very important products from big enterprises. Volkswagen, for instance, here for this ID bus, you can bet that they spend on finding the right price hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they launched it at 64,000 euro. And guess what? For running it on Supra comes with the same recommendation. So instead of spending 600,000 bucks, you now just need to spend 600, right? And that was the same picture when we looked at the Google Pixel 7. It was priced in a way that the market price, so the price on Amazon is now 569, and guess what? That's basically what's optimal. So the message here is, large companies, yeah, they spend lots of money to take a lot of angles to find the right price. But now SMB can do it too by using advanced tools. Right? So the conclusion is SMB brands can manage pricing. Yes, they do not set the shelf price if you have a B2C brand, but if you manage your sales price to the retailer, it's pretty predictable what the end shelf price will be. This means you need to know what customers are willing to pay. Yeah, and it takes a reliable and practical way of measuring willingness to pay to manage that well. Yeah, to understand the value of your product. And now with super tools, for the first time, we have a tool which is easy, very accurate, and super inexpensive, because one product test costs just 600 euros or dollars. And this means that even SMB brands can use this on a broad range to optimize their pricing. So I talked a lot, and I'm open for your further questions. So, but anyways, if you have questions later on, please reach out to me, Frank at Super Tools, and we can talk about your specific situation. I know the time, it's Friday, and we are already over half an hour, 35 minutes.
Frank,
yeah.
Someone is asking if it's also available, if it's possible to use this tool for B2B.
Yeah, exactly. We use it a lot for B2B. If there is no panel for if there are no panel available, there's an option where you basically send out survey invites per email, and basically what all you need to do is to upload a prospect email list. And yeah, for B2B it's the same logic, as long as you have a standardized product. So if your product is customized for every customer, that's of course there's no standard price. So because we find the standard price for a standard product. Cool. Do we have other questions? Yeah, I know it's
someone is asking, yeah, how many products, yeah, is it possible to make bulk surveys? So that you have 10 products or 20 or 100 products, and you want to make a survey for all of them. Yeah, do you have special prices for this later? Because 600, when you have 100 products, $600 is a lot.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you basically can add as many products as you want. This basically we need to reach out to more people. But yeah, if you have a huge demand, there is even a volume discount possible. right? Wonderful. Nice. So hope you found it useful. Please give us feedback afterwards. I see there's another thing. When the suggested retail price is already set, can you use super tools to dynamically find the optimal discount? Yes, because basically the curve tells you how people respond to prices. So basically, you look, if your price is $1 and you want to discount to 50 cents, you look what's the volume you sell at 50 cents, right? You see the uplift. The uplift is then 30%, you sell more. But basically you need to consider then the discount uplift depends not only on the price, but also if you promote those discounts, right? If you are on promotion and on a leaflet, you sell much more. Yeah, that's often people are confusing the numbers and are confused when the reason is if a discount is promoted, you sell more. But basically, the uplift you will see without promotion is what you see in super tools, and that is very useful because today discounts are, they are just, you just do 50% or whatever. There's a step you just do it, but without knowing. And even if you look at the sales numbers later on, you still don't know because part of the uplift is based on promotion, on advertising, right? And the true price effect is what a super tool is telling you. Hope this answers the question. Very nice. So again, if you have questions later on, reach out to me at frank@supertools. And I wish you a wonderful Friday, a happy weekend, happy Friday, and hope to see one of you in another conversation or another webinar. Hope this was useful. Have a great day.